My name is محمد حديد. I'm a Nakba survivor. My parents were Nakba survivors. We were happily living in Safad. My parents and their kids at the time, Ghada, Raida, and Sana. I was born in Nazareth, came back home to my home in Safad, returning after my mother had me in her father's home. We were kicked out, locked us out. The people that we took in 2 years prior from the port of Haifa were my father, my uncle, a few other friends of my father, Al-Khoury family, the Sabbagh family, went to pick up some refugees that arrived to Haifa from Poland, that traveled the world and no one will take them. They ended up in our backyard at the port that my great-grandfather rebuilt in the 18th century when he ruled the land of Galilee. We loved them, my mother said. We fed them, we dressed them, we made sure they're safe. When she came back to the gates of our home, they locked us out without allowing us to go in to take a single memory. I was 9 days old. She had to carry me alone with my sister, 1 year older, all the way to Syria. My uncle found my father and my other 2 sisters and my grandmother in a refugee camp out in the desert. Unfortunately, it took him a while to get there, because my uncle was a infectious disease doctor. He brought him back to Syria for us to be with him. My father finally got a job immediately almost at the University of Damascus as an English professor. Then he was transferred to the Voice of America. That's where we ended up here in USA. A lot of unfortunate people kept and stayed behind in refugee camps all over the world, in Jordan, in Egypt, in Syria, in Lebanon. They were unfortunate. We made it safe, and my parents would not allow us to hate anyone. Made us hate the Jews. They said they were distressed and oppressed. They gave them a home. They did not realize they were going to kick them out of our home. My saddest moments, I can say that my mother asked me to promise her a promise that when she dies, to be buried with her parents in the cemetery in Nazareth, next to her grandfather, great-grandfather, and her sister. I did not do that one single thing. Not that one. Not the one she really wanted at her death. I would never forget that. would never forget what the Zionists have done to us. They destroyed families, separated them. My mother couldn't come back home. Alive or dead. And this is probably thousands of Palestinians have exactly the same story. And others have worse. We were lucky that my father and thousands of others, thousands, educated people have been sucked into the Arab world and Europe as educators, engineers, doctors. No, Palestine was full of educated people. It was a vibrant country. Safed had more than 75,000 people living there. They murdered most of them. Murdered. There were massacres outside Safed and Safed. My parents never let me hate. They said, if you see a person dying, you help them. You don't ask him what religion he is or she is. Just help first.